Hi, I'm Jordan the Music Man, and you saw the title. You know what to expect, so let's go. 2014.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive.
I decided to start with 2014 because it was definitely an interesting year for music. Of the past 4 or 5 years, this was definitely the weakest, at least in the mainstream. A lot of it is forgettable in hindsight, not much sticks out other than the bad things. But for me, 2014 was the year that I was 17, 18, on the tail end of high school, and was listening to a lot of rock music, not really the hits. I knew the big hits because I listened to the radio, but a lot of the songs on this year-end list I listened to for the first time while making this video. And the results surprised me because while most of my picks are songs that I remember, a few are songs that I never even listened to in 2014 itself. But you know what? That's the fun part. So let's get this show on the road because these are the top 10 best hit songs of 2014. Number 10. I've seen this song on pretty much every best of 2014 list, but I don't know, I never really agreed. I mean, I like the song, but I was just ready to put it as an honorable mention and call it a day. But then something clicked with me. I'm not sure what, but here we go. Right off the bat, this song just sounds good. The beat is really catchy with the bass line and the clap percussion, and then Ed steps up to the mic with his fast-paced delivery that matches the tone pretty well. And then we get to the chorus where there's this piano added and the percussion gets louder, which gives the song a lot of punch.
Don't win my love. That heart is so cold. All over my own. I don't wanna know that, babe.
But look, it's no secret that this song is great because of the lyrics. Like I said before, everyone's talked about this song, and while Ed hasn't confirmed it, the general consensus is that this is a song about his relationship with Ellie Goulding and how she cheated on him with Niall Horan. And I like songs with a good story, and Ed's lyrics here are on the money, describing this relationship in great detail.
Now she's staying at my place and loves the way I treat her. Singing out Aretha all over the track like a feature.
It sounds like they have a great relationship, and these lyrics really capture that feeling, at least until this line.
Wish I'd have written it down, the way that things played out. When she was kissing him, how I was confused about. Now she should figure it out while I'm sat here singing.
So something fishy's going on here. Maybe the relationship isn't as happy as he describes, but that's not possible, right?
I never intended to be next, but you didn't need to take him to bed, that's all. And I never saw him as a threat until you disappeared with him to have sex, of course.
Oh, shit. But even as this song takes a turn for the worst, it somehow gets better. The way Ed can just shift from describing a happy relationship to one on the rocks without skipping a beat is really, really good. He always has a knack for storytelling in his songs, but this was probably his best song story-wise, at least until Castle on the Hill. But I'll talk about that another time.
We were staying in the same hotel floor and
Also, can I point out how funny it is that Ed censors himself? I mean, the main lyric of the song is "Don't fuck with my love," and he doesn't even say it. While an explicit version does exist, it just feels wrong hearing Ed Sheeran curse. He's so pure, he doesn't need to use swear words. There's a reason that everyone loves this song and why it holds up so well. It's just a great piece of music, and I'm glad I came around on it.
I don't wanna know that, babe. This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Number 9. Well, this is awkward.
And we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We're gonna let it burn, 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 burn.
Yep, I'm going from talking about Ed Sheeran and his rough relationship with Ellie Goulding to putting an Ellie Goulding song higher on my list. Stuff's weird like that, I guess.
We don't have to worry about nothing.
Now, to be fair, this song was released almost a year before Don't was, so it's not like these two songs were on the chart at the same time. But what Ellie does here is a lot better than what Ed did on Don't. Dont's production was a little understated, I guess, but Burn goes for power and nails it. The song has a lot of weight to it, and I can really feel it. I mean, just listen to the chorus.
And we gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Gonna let it burn, 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 burn.
It's simple, but it gets the job done. The booming synths and percussion pound it to your head and really make an impression. And that's before we talk about the vocals themselves.
When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard.
Ellie Goulding is one of the most distinct voices in pop music, and she uses it to her advantage in almost every song, and that's no exception here. Her tone allows her to be understated on the verses before building it up on the pre-chorus and then exploding on the chorus itself. And the production builds up with her, and those bells.
'Cause we got the fire, fire, fire. Yeah, we got the fire, fire, fire.
Man, I love those. It takes what was already a good song and pushes it over the edge to great. Really, this song is all about the production and Ellie herself, because the lyrics aren't important at all. It's just generic fire metaphors that aren't really special, but it's backed up with importance, and I don't know what else to say. It's just a great song. Number 8. Believe it or not, this was originally going to be on my list. I just don't know why. I thought the whole "we're having it a good time" shtick was goofy and not bad enough to hate. And while that is true, it's not good enough to make my list. No, not at all. Not by a long shot. This isn't even going to be an honorable mention. Instead, I chose a country song that goes in a different direction.
I don't dance, but here I am, spinning you round and round in circles.
This just barely made the year-end list, coming in at number 98, while bigger, bro-ier country songs were higher up on the list. But thank goodness it did, because this song is just beautiful. This is a song that Lee Brice wrote for his wife for their wedding, about how he doesn't dance but he'll gladly get on the floor with his beloved. If that's not the cutest thing you've heard all day, then I don't know what is.
I've never been this far.
And the instrumentation is a perfect match for this kind of sentimental song. The piano that runs throughout the song, the light guitars, the soft percussion that intensifies for the chorus, that beeping sound before the verses. It's all perfect match, especially like the guitar and the bridge. And then there's Lee Brice himself, and his delivery is just so sincere. I know 100% that he truly believes in what he's singing, and he does it in such an amazing way. If I were to rank this list based on how sweet the song was, this would be number 1 by a wide margin. And to think that I almost put a Florida Georgia Line song on here over this. Thank goodness I didn't, because this song is just wonderful. If you hadn't heard it yet, do yourself a favor and check it out. I guarantee it will make your day.
This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Number 7. Fellow music reviewer Josh, aka Sickabio21, put a song by these two artists at number 1 on his best of 2010 list. And while that song is good, I'm inclined to say that this one is a little better.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head.
I've always been a pretty big fan of Eminem's mainstream hits. His 2013 song Berserk is one of my top 5 favorite hits of that year, and he has made classic songs such as Lose Yourself, My Name Is, and The Real Slim Shady. I think that overall what I like most about Eminem is sometimes how goofy his lyrics are. I mentioned Love the Way You Lie earlier, but remember this line?
Now you get to watch her leave out the window, guess that's why they call it window pane.
In what is otherwise a serious song, M decides to make a stupid pun. It's a weird moment, but it's not goofy in a bad way like, say, Just Lose It. And in The Monster, the goofiness is taken up to 11, mentioning Rumpelstiltskin,
Still can make that straw in the gold jump, I will spin. Rumpelstiltskin in a haystack.
making sports references,
It's payback, Russell Wilson falling way back in the trap.
and this thing.
Yeah, Prime, but do you want? There's no wonder you're losing your mind the way it was.
Yes, that really happened. And this is all in a song about one's inner demons and the downsides of fame. But while it's mostly played straight and does have some serious moments, I like how it's balanced out by the funnier moments. Hell, even some of the heavier lyrics have a funny background to them.
Call me crazy, but I had this vision. One day that I'll walk amongst you, a regular civilian.
M just wants to live a normal life without the constant spotlight, but he knows he can't do that, and that just packs an emotional punch. But if you go on Genius, you see that Eminem himself has annotated that lyric, saying, "But naked though." The guy knows how to take a serious situation and make light of it, and I admire that in people. But in the end, the best lyric is at the end of the final verse.
Maybe I need a straight jacket, face facts. I am nuts for real, but I'm okay with that.
He knows that he's crazy, and he's dealing with all of this, but he doesn't mind. He just accepts that he is, as the chorus puts it, friends with the monster under his bed.
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed.
And speaking of the chorus, Rihanna does a great job. I almost forgot about her amidst the deep lyricism, but she shows up and does pretty much what she usually does. It's the perfect kind of hook for a song like this.
Yeah, you think I'm crazy? Well, that's not fair.
Not much else to say at this point. Moving on. Number 6. We live in an era where pop divas of the early 2010s like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga don't have much chart success as they used to, while EDM producers like Calvin Harris and the Chainsmokers make today's biggest hits. And while that's to be expected as trends change with the time, I think if you're looking for why EDM is as popular as it is right now, check this out. I know I'm about to say something really obvious, but one of the integral parts of a song are the lyrics. They convey the message of the song and more often than not determine whether or not the song is good. But with EDM, the focus has shifted from lyrics themselves to the beat. There's a reason why the producer gets primary credit on EDM songs and not whoever sings the lyrics. Hell, sometimes the singer doesn't get any credit at all. But then there's this song, which in my opinion proves that even EDM songs don't need the lyrics at all to be a hit. If you have a really good beat, that's really all you need. Plus, there are no lyrics that might downgrade a song with a great beat from good to bad. But without lyrics, you're forced to listen to the music itself, which means that in order to have an instrumental song get big, it has to have a great beat. And oh boy, does this song have a great beat. It's loud, it's in your face, it's everything that a song like this is supposed to be. The percussion is great, the synths are powerful, and the drop? While some might call this annoying, I say it's great. Those popping noises really add to this song a lot, and besides, when it comes to Martin Garrix songs, I can think of a drop that's a lot worse. Yeah, no thanks. Honestly, I don't know what else to say. It's hard to talk about an instrumental song for a long time. For songs like this, if you feel it, you feel it. And I 100% feel this. Number 5. While I am currently making this video, we have, of all things, a Spanish song topping the charts.
Despacito.
Yeah, I know that it's officially the Bieber remix that's on the chart right now, but the original is miles better, and, spoiler alert, will make my year-end best list, no question. It makes me really happy that a Spanish song is doing so well on the chart. There are usually 2 or 3 Spanish songs per year that cling to the bottom of the chart for a few weeks and fall off, but not that many hits. I mean, when was the last time we even had a Spanish hit? That didn't hit the top 50, it doesn't count. Try again. Now that's more like it. Unlike El Perdón, this was a top 20 hit, peaking at number 12 and making the year in top 40, and it's a damn good song.
Enrique Iglesias.
Let's start with the fact that it's catchy as hell. That Spanish guitar is instantly memorable, and that percussion is exactly what you'd expect from a Latin song. And all the performers have great charisma. Enrique himself handles most of the melody, and his delivery is perfect for the beat. Meanwhile, Gente de Zona and December Bueno handle the pre-chorus, which reminds me a lot of summer with its bright and sunny feel. But what about the lyrics? Well, I took 3 years of Spanish in high school and have Hispanic relatives, but I don't really know what they're saying without translating it. Luckily, there is an English version, so let's check that out. Oh. Hi, Sean. Yeah, similar to Bieber on Despacito, the English version of Bailando adds Sean Paul to appeal to American audiences, I guess. But unlike Despacito, this version is actually in English. The only changes made to Despacito were giving Bieber an English intro, letting him handle the first half of the hook, and changing one of Luis Fonsi's parts to English. Here, Enrique sings most of the song in English with a little bit of Spanish thrown in to begin with. So in that regard, this remix is actually a lot better than Despacito's. So, which version is better? Well, I lean towards the Spanish version, but they're both great versions regardless. We need more Latin songs to be big. Maybe the success of Despacito starts a new Latin revolution or something. I mean, we can hope. Number 4. Remember how I said that there would be songs on this list that I hadn't previously listened to? Well, this is one of them, and I was not expecting it to be this high. But after all, I am a big fan of story-driven songs, and when it comes to 2014, there was no song whose story was as enjoyable or as goofy as this next one. And what other genre could it come from but country? Take it away, Dirks.
I'm getting drunk on a plane. Buying drinks for everybody but the pilot. It's a party. Got the 737 rocking like a G6.
The title alone suggests that you're in for a wild ride, and those strings to open the song definitely reflect this. So right away we're starting off on the right foot. And then we get to the lyrics, which are single-handedly what put this song so high on the list.
I took 2 weeks vacation for the honeymoon.
The song is about a guy who got dumped at the altar and couldn't get a refund for the ticket on his honeymoon, so he decides to go, all while getting wasted on the flight. That right there is funny enough, but the details are spot on. He talks about how people think he's weird for taping up his ex's picture, and how when the drink cart comes around, he starts to load up.
I bet the fella on the out thought I was crazy, 'cause I taped your picture to the seat back right beside me. Now I've got empty mini bottles filling both our trays. I'm getting drunk on a plane.
But then the chorus hits, where he decides to get everyone in on the fun, except the pilot, of course. That would be dangerous.
Buying drinks for everybody but the pilot. It's a party. Got the 737 rocking like a G6.
And yes, he did just reference Like a G6 by the Far East Movement. Why? I don't know, but this party sounds a lot better than the one described in that song, I can tell you that much.
This is some sexy leaning, pouring coke and whiskey. Told her about my condition. Got a little mile high flight attention.
And now he's telling the stewardess about getting dumped and get some action out of it. That right there is one of my favorite lines in the song, just a guy getting sympathy sex. Somehow that's not obnoxious at all. The guy deserves it, he got dumped at the altar for Pete's sake.
They all know why I'm getting drunk on a plane.
And remember how I mentioned how the instrumentation was good? It fits perfectly with these lyrics. Other than the strings that open each verse, we also have this bit at the end of the second verse.
Feel like a plastic groom alone there at the top of the cake.
That violin perfectly captures the feeling of being dumped by an ex, although I wouldn't know that, I've never had a girlfriend. Shit, maybe I need that violin line.
I'm getting drunk on a
And then, after enjoying Cancun and presumably getting even drunker, he flies back home. And what does he do?
On my way home, I'll bump this seat right up to first class, so I can drink that cheap champagne out of a real glass. And when we land, I'll call her up and tell her kiss my ass. 'Cause hey,
The best line in the whole song, and it's not even a contest, him calling the woman that dumped him at the friggin' altar, very likely while drunk, and telling her to piss off, is by far the best image this song has given me.
it's Mardi Gras up in the clouds. I'm up so high, they never come down.
At this point, I've analyzed almost every line. I have nothing more to say. Best lyrics of the year, bar none.
Why I'm getting drunk on a plane.
Just be glad you didn't fly United.
I'm drunk on a plane. This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Number 3. Mainstream music right now is severely lacking in pure rock music like it did in the 80s and early 90s. So whenever there's an act that mixes rock with pop to achieve that radio-friendly sound, I will wholeheartedly accept it. Like these guys, for example.
Ain't it fun? Living in that real world.
The funny thing is that I'm not really a fan of Paramore per se. I mean, I listened to their first album back in 2008 and it was pretty decent, and I really liked their hit Still Into You in 2013, but there are a lot more rock and even pop rock acts that I like a lot more, like Fall Out Boy and Imagine Dragons. Paramore's latest song, for example, Hard Times, it's just not doing it for me. But this, on the other hand, this is great. It's upbeat, it's fun, it's a bop, as the kids say nowadays. I mean, just listen to how it starts. That's a xylophone. Why would you start off a song with a xylophone? I don't know, but it's awesome! And then the guitar kicks in and the drums follow, and you got the perfect formula for a rock song that I like.
Ain't it fun?
And that follows up with the explosive chorus, which cranks the song up to 11, and the vocals from Hayley Williams, which are energetic as the song itself. I'm at a loss for words. I love this kind of stuff.
Go crying to your mama.
Now, if there's one area that the song falters in, it's the bridge. It has less energy than the rest of the song, and it also repeats for over a minute after the final chorus. I'm not a big fan of it, but it doesn't take away from how great the song is.
Where you from?
And I guess now I should bring up the lyrics, which are Hayley Williams talking to herself about living in the real world following her move from Nashville to Los Angeles in the aftermath of the departure of two band members. And honestly, I could care less about what this song is about, because when it comes to rock songs, I value instruments over lyrics, and this song clearly kicks ass in the instrumental department.
Ain't it fun? Ain't it fun?
It's a hell of a good time, and shows that even in 2014, there were some elements of hard rock in the mainstream. Number 2. This is by far the weirdest hit song of 2014, not only because it was released 2 years earlier, but because it sounds absolutely nothing like any other song on the year-end list, that year or any year, maybe ever. Let me make this clear, this did not deserve to be a hit. But oh my god, am I glad that it was. I know that I just talked about how good a rock song Ain't It Fun is, but that pales in comparison to this juggernaut of music. I live for rock songs like this. This is everything I want in a song and then some, and the fact that this got traction 2 years after it was released amazes me even to this day. But before I get ahead of myself, let's start at the beginning. The xylophone on Ain't It Fun was weird enough, but that's nothing compared to an accordion. Are we suddenly in Germany? Time to break out the lederhosen, I guess. Let's go drink beer and go to Oktoberfest.
Afraid to lose control and caught up in this world.
But in all seriousness, this song is awesome. Congos is originally from South Africa, and apparently this song falls into the Kwaito genre, which is African house music, I guess. Again, how did this become a hit? Their percussion is great too. I'm a sucker for a good drum line, and drums are one of the main reasons why rock is my favorite genre, and this one here just rocks so much. And then there's the guitars, which are utterly amazing, especially on the bridge. Just listen to that solo. And let's not forget about the lyrics with the rough-edged delivery and the message about losing oneself. It's dark and gritty, but that's what makes it so great. And then, at the very end, the first verse repeats with a much higher intensity as before, as everything just explodes into this cacophony of noise that just gets me so pumped up. And then we get the same guitar solo again to close out the song, and oh my god, I am in heaven.
Go with me now!
This is by far the best hit rock song of 2014, maybe even of the entire decade. Saying that it kicks ass is a major understatement, and we may never get a song like this on the year-end charts ever again.
Go with me now!
So now you're probably thinking, how is that not number one? Well, before I reveal what could possibly top that, here are some honorable mentions in no particular order. Sia's first big solo hit, and by far her best. This could have made the list if not for her screeching on the second half of the chorus. Yeah, that's grating. Otherwise a good song though. Not as good as Don't, but it's a close second. Who knew Ed Sheeran was a good rapper?
This love is a blaze, I saw flames from the side of the stage, and the fire brigade comes in a couple of days.
He has a really good flow.
Let it go until our roads are changed, singing we found love in a local rave. No, I don't really know what I'm supposed to say.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody.
I love the groove on this. It takes the one line from an Elton John song and turns it into a jazz song that's really upbeat and catchy. By the way, did you know that Aloe Black's real name is Egbert Dawkins III? Who names their kid Egbert? Losers. That's who.
The story of my life, I take her home, I drive all night to keep her warm in time.
One Direction is best enjoyed in hindsight. Up until around 2015, I hated them, but now I realize that a lot of their songs are actually pretty good, like this one.
Turn down for what?
Lil Jon on an EDM song might just be the best idea ever.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
This was the biggest hit of the year, an upbeat, catchy song from a kids movie. That's not a knock on the song, but I feel like Can't Stop the Feeling is like 3 times better.
When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be.
This was so close to making the list, but it just missed the cut. I absolutely adore this melody. The piano and the violin work so well together. Consider this number 11. This would have made the list had it been eligible, but despite peaking one spot higher than Come With Me Now, it missed the year-end list. Of course, in Canada, it was a top 20 hit and made the year-end list there, yet again proving that
The Canadian charts are always better.
right you are, Mark. Although, side note, which country did Humble go to number 1 in? I'm just putting that out there. So now, without further ado, it's time to finish this. Here we go. Number 1. If there's one thing to take away from 2014, or any year for that matter, it's that there was different kinds of If there's one thing to take away from 2014, or any year for that matter, it's that there were different kinds of songs that were good for different reasons. I mean, just on this list alone, you have songs that were good because of powerful instrumentation like Animals, Ain't It Fun, and Come With Me Now. You have songs that were good based on great lyrics like The Monster, Don't, I Don't Dance, and Drunk on a Plane. And you have songs that coast by on the charisma of the singer like Burn and Bailando. But there was only one song this year that managed to combine these elements into one glorious package that resulted in 4 minutes of absolute perfection. And here it is. I listened to this song a lot in preparation for this list, and I'm still not sure just how to express in words what makes this song so great. Like I said, it combines the different elements of other songs on this list, but there's more than that. In the end though, I chose this as my number one because of how uplifting it is. Everything about this song, from the production to the lyrics, just gives me a happy feeling. Just listen to that opening piano again. That's exactly what I want to hear in songs. And right after we get Chris Martin's vocals.
Cause you're a sky full of stars.
A sky full of stars. He's comparing his girl to a sky that's bright, beautiful, makes him happy. When one of the biggest songs right now is about a guy comparing his girl to a road, I am 100% on board with metaphors like these. Seriously, I'm getting I Don't Dance vibes here. Where is he going with this?
I don't care, go on and tear me apart.
Tear him apart? Oh, right. I forgot that happened. Regardless, he knows that he has to move on, so he doesn't care if she tears him apart. But he still sees the night sky, and it reminds him of her. I thought this was a straightforward love song before going deeper into the lyrics, but the fact that this is about an ex and how he is still reminded of her in nature just breaks and warms my heart at the same time. There's a hidden layer of sadness underneath the happiness, but that's part of life, and that's okay. It's important to stay positive, even in the darkest of times. And then, the drop. Did you know that Avicii helped produce this song? He's not credited, but this might be the best thing he's ever worked on. This drop makes the song. Like I said, it's already uplifting, and the drop is what uplifts it to the max.
Cause you're a sky full of stars.
Also, can we talk about how Chris Martin is a great singer? I love it every time he goes into his upper register, like the chorus on Him for the Weekend or near the end of something just like this. And here is no exception. It's a perfect match for the instrumentation, and it makes the song as happy as it is. And let's not forget about the last minute of the song, which might be the best moment of music in 2014. The melody switches just the slightest bit, and oh my god, it's amazing. And then Chris Martin comes back one last time, and he's so joyful, and it makes me joyful. I know I've used the word uplifting a lot, but this is a 13 out of 10 on the uplifting scale. It's the cherry on top of the uplifting sundae. This entire song was building up to this moment, and it's so great, I just don't have any more words. I could have easily put a badass rock song like Ain't It Fun or Come With Me Now at the top of this list, but this song makes me feel things that no other song this year did. It's a perfect combination of instrumentation, lyrics, and charisma. It cheers me up every time I hear it, and it is, rightfully so, the best hit song of 2014. So, that was my list, and if you want to see more of my opinions on music and other random things, you can follow me on Twitter at JFarbs, I'll leave a link in the description below, or you can subscribe to this channel and wait for my next video, which should be in the near future. But until then, I'm Jordan the Music Man, signing off.